Hello, business building warrior. Welcome to Silent Sales Machine Radio. I'm your host, Jim. I'm going to bring a guest on in just a moment, and you're going to absolutely love today's episode. This is going to be one that you might end up sharing with some friends and getting your team really excited about. If you're selling on Amazon right now, I guarantee you are going to enjoy what we have to share with you today. It's about how to tap into discontinued product trends methodically and benefit from them wildly. Let me give you a few examples. Our guests today, these are examples of recent wins that he's had. There was an item that he made $9,000 net profit on. He was buying it for $6.50, sold all of it, as much as he could get his hands on, for $25 to $30. Another one, a shampoo that he realized was being discontinued based on the strategies he's developed. And he ended up making $16,000 net profit after holding it for a very short period of time. So he realized it was being discontinued. He held it. Its popularity maintained steady. The price went up, and he made $16,000 net profit on the one shampoo, easily sourced. And he got his hands on as much of it as he could, obviously, once he realized what was happening. Another one, a face cream, he paid $3.50 for, but no, he said $3 and he sold them for $25. So turning $3 into $25 as fast as you can get your hands on the product. He realized it was being discontinued, bought it, and he shares some of those stories. So he made $5,000 net on that deal. What a great way to diversify your Amazon strategies. Learn how to spot discontinued items and then go after him. So our guest today is Zach Altmeyer. He was a speaker at our conference last year. He's going to be speaking again this year at our May event. We talk about that on the show a little bit today, but since I brought it up, you'll want to lock in the last 3 days of May to join us in Orlando. Actually, you want to come a few days early and stay a few days late. There's a lot of people that do that. We were recently voted, I've probably said it, you've heard me say it a few times now, as the #1 reseller conference for Amazon sellers in the industry. We were recently voted, thousands of people voted, and we came out on top. You got to be at this event. The website it's 3 words, theprovenconference.com. Plan to join us. Zach's going to be there, one of dozens of speakers with breakout sessions, but I think you're going to want to come meet this guy after you hear what he has to say today. We've just launched his course, brand new, hot off the press, not taught anywhere else strategies. The website is provendiscontinuedsourcing.com. All 3 words, provendiscontinuedsourcing.com. Good news, if you're one of our coaching students, the course is completely free as of the day of launch. Can't wait to get you in there and have a community of people using these strategies. We love taking good care of our coaching students around here. If you're a Proven Amazon course student, hey, it's a huge discount for you as well. Big discount. So get over there and grab it at a very low price. And then for everyone else, the price is still ridiculously low. Maybe you're not a part of our community. You're just listening to this show today kind of randomly. You're not in our Amazon seller training library. Hey, that's cool. You can still grab the course, provendiscontinuedsourcing.com. He's going to turn you into a ninja at spotting the soon-to-be discontinued products that are going to rocket up in price. So you can buy them, hold them for a short period of time, and then make really nice money. We also spend a good amount of time talking about how you can do this right on Amazon. You can look for the indicators that Amazon is holding a large inventory of a soon-to-be discontinued product. You can buy it from Amazon and flip it on Amazon. Now, use caution. We cover some of the ground rules there. We don't want to get anyone in trouble. So we cover some of the ground rules of how to do that properly today on the show as well. But a lot of good information today. Even if you don't go buy any courses or training, you're going to learn a whole bunch on today's episode. I can't wait to get into it. Zach's been in our community for several years. He's been a reseller for a long time. Get this, he still has a full-time job. This is just a side gig. Do you have a side gig that's getting you paydays like $9,000 net profit, $3,000 net profit, $5,000 on net profit on products that are easily sourced just because you learn how to read the data? The analogy I use on the show today that I think is fitting is if you knew there was a stock that was about to go up in price and you knew for sure, like that's kind of illegal to know if a stock's going up in price for sure. That means you got some insider information that other people don't have. If it's a $50 stock, let's say you knew Microsoft stock was going to go up $100 3 days from now, would you go buy some? You probably would. Well, that's what this is. You can have the insider information on discontinued products if you know where to look and how to spot it. So you buy it, you hold it for a short period of time, the price starts to go up. The demand didn't change, just the price changed because the supply plummeted. If you understand those basics, man, you can make some good money. And this can be yet another killer strategy in your arsenal of proven Amazon strategies. So enjoy our conversation today with Zach Altmeyer. Let's get into it. I think you're going to love this one. Let us know what you think. Again, that website, you're going to want to write this down. It's in the show notes as well. Provendiscontinuedsourcing.com. All the things we talk about today are in our show notes as well, all the links. There's one other thing I need to say before I bring Zach on. If you hear us talking about Keepa today and you don't know what Keepa is, if you're new to our community, Keepa is a software tool. You can find out more about it at silentjim.com/Keepa, Keepa. It's the most insightful data and analytics tool that helps you make great decisions about your inventory. It's only $20 a month. We teach you how to use it in the Proven Amazon course. You've got to learn to see it through the lens that we use that tool. To hear more about Keepa and why we love it, go listen to podcast episode 369. That's an older episode. It came out a long time ago, but I could record it today and it'd be word for word, every bit as valuable for you. Keepa scrapes data in a way that no one else does off Amazon and gives you insights that no one else can. And we love it. It's our favorite tool around here for making good inventory decisions. So when you hear us talking about Keepa, you don't know what it is, just go hit episode 369. Then you'll understand. It's like $20. So you're going to want to grab that as a serious Amazon seller. All right, let's get into it with Zach. Bring him on the line right now. So Zach, welcome back to Silent Sales Machine Radio. Good to see you again, man.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Really looking forward to diving into this. You've been doing a lot of work, like I said in the intro, in this discontinued arena. And you've got some pretty powerful concepts. How's it been going for you? And maybe for those who haven't heard your story, let's recap a little.
Yeah, things have been great. So for those who don't know me, my name is Zach Altmeyer. I have been reselling for 7 years now, all part-time. Reselling is just a small part of my life. I have a lot of things moving on the side here, but it has created so many opportunities for me. And I think I started out reselling like most. I tried a couple different side hustles. Nothing really stuck. I didn't like it. I couldn't find what I had a passion for. And I just stumbled upon reselling. A couple of my friends, Greg Webb, early on, big proven course guy, and connected with him and just kind of got the things rolling. And like I said, started with most and just trying to sell anything that I could around the house just to create a little bit of cash flow to kind of invest that into other inventory. And once I got through, the stuff around the house, I moved to garage sales and trying to flip things here and there and like sports cards and things like that. And then I ended up going to my local stores and finding clearance items and flipping some of the things around there. And that's kind of where I stumbled upon discontinued products and type of closeout products. And as soon as I found some of those products, it really changed the game for me. It created a ton of cash flow, and kind of combining that and learning the buy and hold system, just like I said, changed the game for me when it comes to discontinued products.
Beautiful. Let me interject a couple thoughts on your story so far. It used to be where you could be pretty safe yard selling, flipping items on Amazon. Now we say, don't do that. Now, to new sellers, right? The game has changed. I mean, you were talking 7 years ago, so it's understandable. Yes. That was part of a lot of our stories back then. But now we encourage established ASINs only. Make sure you've got proper receipts and invoices for anything you ever sell on Amazon, et cetera. But a lot of us did start that way. I've been doing it 22 years. I've done the yard sale grind, the flipping random items grind. Nothing compares to what we've now got as an opportunity. And in this replens arena that we've carved out, that exciting model that we teach here, you're adding another strategy. At this point, we've probably got 25 strategies, but you're adding yet another one to the way we can find replens that they're going to sell at a predictably profitable price and go get more if you need them. Although in this case, with discontinued products, there is an end date. So you got to get what you can get while you can, right? And I know you're going to get into that, but keep it going, man. So you got into discontinued products. And how long ago was that, would you say?
4 or 5 years ago now.
Yeah, you've
Yeah.
been doing it a while.
Yes. Yeah. And kind of hitting on so you're talking about the replen system. And
Mhm.
when you hear discontinue, you think, oh, that's a bad thing. I can't replen that. But my goal today, and to kind of we talk about this and the upcoming course, is I want to kind of flip that on its head and show you that discontinued is actually a good thing. And maybe that you can't replan that specific ASIN, but discontinued in general, there's always products being discontinued. And it's a never-ending cycle. So if you look at it that way, there's always opportunity.
So let's do this before we dive a little further into this.
Yeah.
If you had to summarize this succinctly as you could for, let's say, a semi-educated Amazon seller,
Mm-hmm.
what is discontinued sourcing? What are you looking for?
So I see it there's two avenues to look at it. The one is finding discontinued products, so products that are no longer being manufactured, but there is still a very high demand for that item. I mean, there's two ways to kind of go about it. There's the one where this product has already been discontinued. It's been kind of out of stock for a while, but there are certain spots, stores where you can find these products and create a lot of high margin very easily with a low budget if you need to.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other side of it is getting ahead of the game. So you discover that a product is discontinued, but maybe it's still in stock at your major retailers or even Amazon itself. And it's kind of getting ahead of the game, buying that product, holding for a certain period of time for when that product goes out of stock, because you're ahead of the game, it's discontinued and selling at a profit.
The visual image I have as I hear you describe this, it's almost as if someone said, hey, this stock out here, it's, stock in whatever your favorite stock that you might buy if you invest on the stock market, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's $50 right now. I can tell you right now, it's going to be $80 in 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
You want to buy some? I mean, that's kind of what the discontinued game is. That's what you just said. Amazon's selling it right now. They got, 5,000 units.
Mm-hmm.
But we've done our research and we know the manufacturer has stopped making it. And we know if it's of a significant velocity, the Keep It chart says people are buying this thing. There's going to be several people, especially if there's any kind of brand loyalty, who still want that item and they're willing to pay more once the supply dwindles. And so you can even buy from Amazon, do an Amazon to Amazon flip, which I'm sure we'll get into. But the first time I tasted this myself was we were doing some air fresheners, these $1 air fresheners. We were going crazy with them, sold a ton of them. And from time to time, I'd see a scent on the shelf in the back, dusty. I'm like, what's that? And I'd look, and it would be like 3 times the price of the other stuff. They don't have one can. Like, what in the world? Like, people were loyal to that watermelon summer scent that they stopped making, 8 months ago. And that's a can of gold right there. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can be intentional about this, that's what you've dialed in. And so I think we've given people a little taste of what we're talking about here. And it's not just a matter of luck. You can build systems around knowing what's going to discontinue soon, buy and hold. I love it, man. So, all right. So keep us going. I just wanted to make sure I'm staying up to page and keeping maybe some of the newer sellers who are listening up to speed on what we're talking about here.
Yeah, absolutely. You nailed it. And just kind of going back to that, like you said, the customer, the brand loyalty is huge. Just this past month, I actually had a customer. I had sold a discontinued facial cleanser, that they could not find anymore. And they actually hand wrote me a letter and sent it to me and thanked me because they could not find it anywhere else. And they're like, thank you so much. All I had to do was click a button and it was delivered right to me. So it's a win-win situation.
Absolutely. Yeah. I had there was a certain pair of shoes that I liked that they stopped making. So I bought as many as I could and they're gone now. There's no more to be found. So I know that anyone can get locked in on that brand loyalty, that ASIN, and you see the prices climb when the inventory runs out. And you're just playing that game methodically at this point.
Exactly.
How much would you say you've done in discontinued, just as a total ballpark number, the past 4 years? How much of your business has been discontinued sales? Have you ever added that up?
I actually haven't added that up, but the majority of my business is discontinued products.
Okay.
It works. The buy and hold strategy really kind of works with me, kind of balancing that with my 9 to 5 job. The really nice thing about it is it gives me the flexibility to do the buy and hold because the way I kind of operate and just to kind of take a step back, the way I kind of operate is I kind of work in waves. There are certain products that I'm going after. And if I know, like I said, if I know it's discontinued, I'm kind of buying, holding in here, and then waiting a certain amount of time. And then throughout the year, whatever that product is, I'm just kind of releasing and selling that at the time and just getting a nice consistent income on the side. Meanwhile, I have other products in holding and just kind of keeping that cycle going.
Understood. Yeah, it's a nice pace. It's not a
Mm-hmm.
constant scramble for the next profitable item. As more as this stuff that, hey, you're going to hold it for what's the average you hold stuff for? 2, 3 months?
Half a year. The one thing that I have gotten better this year is kind of talking to the Amazon flips is finding a discontinued product and you don't have to buy it immediately. You could see how much does Amazon have stock or the any other retailers, and you can kind of track it that way. So you're not buying immediately and then you're strapped with that cash flow, just waiting for them to go out of stock. So there are different strategies of, kind of getting ahead of it so you don't have to tie up so much cash flow early on.
That forecasting is a skill I know that's kind of built into the training that we've got for folks. We haven't mentioned the website since you came on. It's provendiscontinuedsourcing.com. That's one of the things you're going to teach people, provendiscontinuedsourcing.com. By the way, as I mentioned in our intro, free for coaching students, huge discount for our Proven Amazon course community. You're being very generous. For everyone else, still a very low priced course that's going to really help you dial this in. So yeah, one of the things you're trying to do is shrink that hold time, because that's the length of time that your money's sitting in storage. So
Correct.
if you
Yes.
can buy it the last possible minute where you still get adequate supply with the intent of flipping it as soon as possible, you don't want long wait times. That makes a lot of sense. I know, like the Lego guys that hold on to Legos, in some cases they'll hold them for a year or 2 or 3. You're not doing that
No.
ever,
Yeah.
it sounds like.
No.
Yeah.
And
You want to
early
strike while the
on,
iron's still hot. Well, the demand is still high, but people just can't find it.
exactly. And, learn from your mistakes. It's something that I did early on. I was like, wow, this is awesome. Buy it early. And there was a lot more stock than I had anticipated and had to hold it for a very long time. So it's just kind of, learning those lessons. And now that I've kind of been through it, getting better at it and understanding that process. And some of the products that I buy and hold are health and beauty products. They have expiration dates. And that's kind of one of the things we teach in the training is how do you actually manage that? When was this manufactured? How good is it? What's the range I'm looking at? So there are a lot of different factors when it comes to the buy and hold, but if you can nail it down, it becomes a very powerful business.
Yeah, absolutely. And so you mentioned you have a full-time job. This
Yes.
is your part-time gig.
Hmm.
Break down those numbers for me just a little bit to paint a picture for people who are saying, okay, wait, I could do this part-time. What's the reality of how much time you need, and how big, significant a part of your family budget is this Amazon business side gig?
Yeah, absolutely. So, like two specific examples here. Earlier this year, I had, I guess, late 2023 and then sold in 2024 a discontinued shampoo. I had probably invested 5,000 and ended up profiting 18,000. And then just recently, I had sold out of another ASIN where it was between 2 and 3,000, and I ended up profiting a little bit over 8,000. So right then and there, that's a very nice chunk of change on the side.
That's net.
Just
You're talking net after all expenses.
I'm talking net after all expenses,
Wow.
and that was Amazon to Amazon. So all I did was buy off Amazon, waited one of them was 8 months, and then sold back on Amazon.
Yeah, for those doing the math, that's a nice ROI. You're not going to get that with just about
Yes.
any other business venture out there. Well,
Yes.
400x in 6 months, 400, yeah, 400%. That's crazy. Yeah.
So that's one of the I think that's a very important thing too is when it comes to discontinued products, you don't have to I gotta find 50 discontinued. You gotta find one good one and it can make a
Mhm.
huge difference in your business. So
Yeah, 1 or 2 a month, man, and
yeah,
you've replaced most decent jobs that you could have as a
yeah,
career,
yeah.
And if you're banking eight to $15,000 net profit a month, that's a pretty decent job for a lot of people. So how much time are you spending researching once someone's dialed in? And one of the
Mhm.
questions I asked you before we started recording and in previous conversations, we've talked several times over the past couple of years about getting to this point. So we're very excited we're finally here. But one of the questions was, what is the process of going from, okay, I'm competent on Amazon to being a discontinued ninja? Like, how much time do I need to study these concepts? And what I was happily surprised by is it's not like you need 20 hours of training. A few hours, and there's always more to learn, obviously, but a few hours, you got the heart of it, right? And that's what we've put together. Talk me through that a little bit. Like, what's
Yeah.
involved in me becoming a ninja with this stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. So, like I kind of talked about the two different avenues of going about discontinued
Mhm.
products. One is kind of that retail arbitrage, actually going in the store and, looking for these type of products. And there are easy, simple strategies of what to actually look for when you're going in store. Because, if you're an average Amazon seller and you're looking for these things, if you're just looking at a shelf of shampoos, for example, right, it can be very overwhelming. Like, I don't know what to look for. In that training, we kind of put together, there's little tips and tricks of what to look for in store to kind of find these products. And then on the other side is for the buy and hold, little indicators. There are websites, there are things out there that letting customers know that products are being discontinued. And they're very, simple strategies. So it's more of a once you know, and then you
Mhm.
can use those strategies and kind of build off them from there.
Mhm. So you can follow the manufacturer's dates, and they make some of this information public and where to know and how to know. And I imagine the people who get into the community that's kind of forming around this concept, that's going to become part of our lingo around here, swapping those ideas. And that's a beautiful thing. I would think about this is, if there's stuff that's only on retail shelves and it's being discontinued, I could share that with a friend, hey, hit all the Walmarts in your area. I can't get there.
Exactly.
Go grab
Yes.
those $20 bills. So it's a very cooperative type of environment among other sellers too. Because sometimes sellers are like, oh, I don't want anyone to see my ASINs. I gave up on that a long time ago, by the way, because it's like it's all public anyway. But this one lends itself to that in a very friendly way. Where something I really like about this, it lends itself to community. Especially if it's a retail pull, like, hey, hit every Walmart, go grab this item, and I can see those kind of things kind of forming out of this group that we're putting together. Because to my knowledge, no one's out there just really hitting it hard, teaching this stuff, not at the scale we intend to, at least. So it's going to be a part of our lingo around here. Well, what are we leaving out? I'm excited about the course, provendiscontinuedsourcing.com. How many hours of content are we talking about here to go from, okay, I'm interested to, I'm going to go do this now? You said it's not a lot, but like total time wise, what am I going to have to commit to learning this stuff?
Yeah, the training's between 1 and 2 hours. We kind of broke it down, like I said, make it very effective and simple. And the whole point of the course is to help you figure out once like you know how to use those strategies and you can grow it from there. So what I kind of like talk about is like what you're looking for in store. Like you find that product in store, then how do you take that next step? Is it discontinued? If you know it's discontinued, where else can I look? And then setting up certain systems, like I said, certain websites. How can you set that up to make it automatic so you don't have to go in and check every day? You can
So you get
get like
alerts.
little updates. Yes, you
Yeah.
can get alerts. Simple ways using Keepa, setting alerts there to make things very easy for you. So there's a
Yes.
lot of different ways. And the one thing I like about this training too is I think it really does a really good job of covering both ends of the spectrum. So if you're someone who likes to go in store and search for items, we have strategies for that. If you like looking like you said, going and find like those dusty items in the back of the shelves, like we got that. On the other hand, something that's growing is AI. How do we use AI to kind of find these products? So we have that side of it. We have A to A. We talk about Keep a little bit. So we have all ends of the spectrum, and it works for all sellers. It's if someone needs some cash to build some cash flow, discontinued products are great. I have in the Proven Conference, I talked about a foot powder that I had sold this year. I spent $3 and I ended up selling it for $130. Easy cash flow like that, and to build on that and creating cash flow to invest in other products. So you have that side of it. And then also maybe if you're just all OA, all you need is that little indicator like, oh, you can add this to your repertoire of reselling. So, like I said, we cover both ends of the spectrum here, and there's a little bit for all different types of sellers.
I love it. I'm so excited. I'm going to go through this course myself, going to have my team go through it. I want to become more of a, I like the word ninja at this, but it's not like
Yeah.
it's some kind of dark arts or anything. It's just, if you can see what's coming clearly, you know that there's demand, you know that people are brand loyal and they're going to want more of this when it starts to get scarce. The price is going to go up. And instead of letting it just happen to you by accident, which has happened to me several times. I mean, we brought a whole case of a winter related item one time, and here comes spring, and I still got 2 pallets of it sitting over there. I'm like, will you guys take this back? I asked the manufacturer, will you please take this back? And they're like, oh, well, restock fee, this and that. And I'm like, well, let's just see what happens next winter. Like, stop making it. And we sold that stuff like it was gold bars the next winter. And I was like, man, there's got to be a strategy behind here where I can do this on purpose instead of just kind of looking like the hero on accident, right? Where I have a little extra when it gets discontinued. Yeah, and that's what you've dialed in. I want to talk about A to A for just a second, Amazon to Amazon. What are the basic parameters? I mean, you don't have to dive real deep into this because we teach this in the course, but if I'm going to do a little bit of A to A, what are the basic rules there that I need to know, even if discontinued or not? That may be new terminology to people. Talk me through that for a minute, if you would. Just let's keep people out of trouble, because you said A to A. We might have to send some people hopping on Amazon right now and getting themselves in trouble. What are the lines in the sand there?
Yeah. So number one, I'm not buying from a Prime account. This is strictly just my straight up business Amazon account. And then two, I am buying directly from Amazon. So I'm not buying from other third party sellers. I'm buying directly from Amazon and only Amazon.
As
So
the
those are the
seller.
big 2 rules right there that I've been
Yep.
using.
Yep. And have you ever encountered a challenge for the authorized status of that inventory? Meaning Amazon says, hey, we need you to prove this is valid inventory, and you show them their own order from their own warehouse. Has that happened?
One time, yes, and no issues.
Of course, because if there is an issue, it implicates them in the crime. Right. So yeah, that's got to be good inventory. It came, Amazon bought it. Amazon put it on its own shelf. Amazon sold it to you. You held it, sold it for a higher price later. Clean
It's it's
transactions all the way
it's
around.
it's my favorite type of flip, and like you said, it is the cleanest transaction I feel the most confident in.
But you use your
I've been
business
using.
account. So you set up a separate Amazon business account that doesn't have Prime.
Correct.
So I don't have a business buying. Well, I think we probably do at our warehouse. I've never used it. There's no such thing as a Prime discount for business accounts that you know of.
I'm not sure. I don't use any Prime.
So you just didn't register for the Prime program.
Correct.
You set up
Yes.
a business buying account, and you don't pay for Prime.
Yes.
And now all the
Exactly.
prices you see are non-Prime pricing. So it may be a little more than what others are paying, but the point is, you know it's going to go up. I mean, if it's going to go up from $8 to $40, you don't care to pay an extra buck or two per unit and miss out on your Prime discount. So,
And in some cases, when you have a business account, when Amazon is trying to get rid of their stock that is discontinued, you might even get a discount having the business account.
sure.
So you're not only getting that, but you're also getting a discount on that product because the business accounts get a little bit of a heads up on those type of accounts. So
that was worth the price of admission right there by itself, even if you're not, because we've got some people doing pretty serious A to A businesses, not even looking for discontinued, just looking. Once you learn how to read a Keepa chart, once you've gone through the proven Amazon course, basic replens training, and you know how to read a Keepa chart, and you establish your risk tolerance for these things. There's some people doing really well A to A flips. When Amazon's, I don't know if you knew this or not, Zach, did you catch that conversation we had here? It's been about 4 months ago. Keepa put a new feature into the tool based on a request I sent them that is super helpful. Did you hear the OOS conversation? Amazon out of stock?
No.
Yeah, this is cool, man. So you just kind of brainstorming with other leaders on our team, and we're saying, wouldn't it be awesome if Keepa, instead of just telling us what percentage of time Amazon is in stock, which is what they used to do, how about you tell us how many times Amazon ran out of stock in, say, the last 30, 45, 90 days? And if that number is higher than, say, 5 or 10 times that they've run out of stock,
Hmm.
got my attention because that's a bouncy buy box, right?
Hmm.
Amazon's selling it for 20 when they have it and they run out, which is below cost any of us can get it for. When they run out, it bounces all the way up to $40. Well, how can we find those? And so that's one of the other tools you may want to incorporate that into. I'm sure, those are some early signals of discontinued. If they're running out of stock more frequently than they used to, it's like,
Hmm.
that's a sign. Amazon ran out of stock altogether. Excuse me. That's a sign. They're probably one of the bigger buyers of those
Hmm.
popular items. Those are good indicators to be looking for, but you've really dialed it down to a science. And I can't wait to go through this training. Well, is there a prerequisite? I think we should probably drop this. If this is someone's first podcast episode they're listening to and like, okay, well, I'm going to go do this continued. I'm going to set up an Amazon seller account and go do this. You
Hmm.
need to understand the basics. You probably should go through the Proven Amazon course, new seller content, at least have sold, say, a few $1,000s worth of inventory, making good decisions and understand the process before they get into this content. Because you aren't going to go through the basics of how to sell on Amazon as part of this course. It's my understanding, correct?
Correct. And just on top of that too is this is all about making money online. So we have a little section for eBay too. eBay comes in clutch here for sellers when it comes to discontinued products, not only for selling, but using it as a tool for finding inventory to sell. So this is not, and I want to make sure clear, I'm not buying from eBay. I'm using it as a tool
Yeah.
to find certain products. So we
Right.
talk about all that in the training too, but eBay is also another great platform when it comes to discontinued products.
I got to imagine if the price is rocketing up on eBay, it's a sign something's going on. Pay attention. Yeah. Anytime you see the price rocketing up on stuff almost unrealistically, like what's going on? Well, it's probably discontinued and has a lot of demand still. That's a good
Mhm.
sign to be looking for. But again, we're going to put a real science behind this and help people set up systems to catch these. I love it, man. This is good stuff. I'm excited for the course. As you're listening to this, the listeners, the course is out again, proven discontinued sourcing.com. We've got some pre-recorded content that Zach's put together that you can go through at your own pace. And then you're going to be doing a few live interactive, let's get the whole group together and cover some more content based on the questions and based on other stuff that you want to present live. So what can students expect if they jump into this? But an hour and a half, 2 hours of hands-on content, right?
Mhm.
And then what do we see? A handful of modules after that where they're recorded, of course, and you come on live, correct?
Correct. Yeah. And I will be there to answer any questions. We can work through examples live. If you're in the course, in the training, whatever you are looking for me, I'm here to help. This training, Jim, you and I have been talking about this for quite a while. This has
Yeah.
been a training in the works for almost a year now.
I think we bought the
And
domain name over a year ago. I just renewed the domain name.
yeah,
It's been over a year.
I have been working on this for a very long time, working with other proven coaches and members on, I've been working with a few like, hey, have you thought about this? And I was like, oh, that the light bulb went off and we kind of threw that in there too. So I'm really excited to release this. And I feel like it's going to help a lot of people and kind of like, again, the light bulb will go off and like, oh, you know what? I can add this to my reselling resume
Yes.
because it only takes a couple ASINs to really change the game.
Beautiful. I've at least a couple more things I want to hit real quickly before I let you go. They both have to do with the word proven, by the way. The first one is the Proven Conference. You've already committed. You're going to be there. You're going to be one of our speakers presenting on this topic. That's the last 3 days of May 2025. Get over to theprovenconference.com and register. By the way, you probably don't know this, Zach, unless you saw the post I made just earlier, but we were voted the number one. There's several thousand people that participated in an industry-wide voting, and we were voted the number one conference for resellers in the industry. Pretty cool.
Wow.
The top result was Amazon's own Accelerate event, which I think they spend tens of millions of dollars on. We do not have that budget for our event, but we still bring in hundreds of great attendees and great speakers, great breakout sessions, and that was quite an honor. Along with, this is the number one podcast. We've won that, and the number one community, the Facebook group, the My Silent Team group. So several honors, but I just wanted to make sure we let people know they can come see you and meet you at the conference in May, the last 3 days of May. It's theprovenconference.com. And the other reason I bring up the word proven is because you alluded to this, that it's been well over a year-long process. that's how we do things here. And you can attest to this. When you first brought me this idea, I wasn't like, yeah, let's make a course, let's do it. I said, well, here's the steps. And the steps have been the same for dozens of courses that we've launched here. It's show me your results. Okay, cool. That's nice. Now, here's a team of guinea pigs from our inner core. Convince them this is legit. And when I start hearing back from them that they like it and they're getting results, then we start talking about the next step. We buy a domain name, commit to the process with you. And then we start laying out, where does this fit strategically for the community, your schedule, our schedule. We send you a few more students. So we're getting results, and we prove it out over time is the point I'm making, though. So this is a proven concept. We're not rolling out something we heard about yesterday. We've been doing this, testing this. We've got people on our team trying it for quite some time. Proven discontinued sourcing.com. Can't wait to get this out there. It's going to help a lot of people, man. You're going to be a hero at the conference, I think, based on the timing of this. Early 2025, people will be, hey, this is great. All kinds of questions, and cornering you at the event, having you sign their last can of air freshener that they're selling for $80 a piece, and they want to keep this one as a memento. I love it. So anything else on your mind before we sign off on this one? I think it's been a very helpful episode.
I think we covered it all. I'm just, like I said, I'm very excited about it. I'm excited about the live trainings after, kind of work with the members and the community, and however I can help you and any other, information I have, like it'll all be there. And I'm just, I'm really excited. I'm really excited to have
You're not
this.
a hold anything back kind of guy. I really have an appreciation for people who can teach. Keep it simple, keep it short, get to the point. We're in, we're out. When I first asked you how much time does it take someone, and it's been probably a year ago since I had this, like to go from knowing nothing to knowing what they need. You're like, a couple hours maybe. I'm like, whoa, that's awesome. A lot of people overplay, like, well, it's going to take weeks to get into the in-depth details. And like, no, don't overblow it, man. This is not rocket science. But you deliver that content very succinctly. It's all proven. It's all stuff you've done. It's going to be a powerful experience for those who decide to join us. Now, if you're listening to this recording well after the course is already launched, it's still there. At some point, we may have a price change or something, but proven discontinuedsourcing.com. The course is there. You don't have to be in on the initial experience. That bonus content will be recorded and added in. So if you're listening to this even several months after this has popped out there, yeah, grab it. It's fantastic content. All right. Well, I think we're going to sign off here, Zach. It's good to see you again, man. And as we're recording this, it's 2025 is upon us. So can't believe it. Quick year, but I think it's going to be a blast. And this is going to be a big part of it for a lot of people in our community, this discontinued strategy. So thanks for bringing it to us, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. 2025 is going to be an amazing year, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Absolutely, man. Well, hey, let's sign off here then for the listeners who hung out with us today. If this was your first episode or first few that you've listened to around here, I got to make sure you're aware that we have hundreds of episodes. We're actually approaching 1,000 episodes. The vast majority of them are interviews with the successful students from our community who have built beautiful businesses, sharing what they've learned, sharing their strategies. And in many cases, the top of the top, we bring them on board and say, hey, teach us those new little nuanced strategies that you've added to your arsenal. And that becomes content for the community. It's this beautiful flywheel. But if you're new around here, scroll back in time, listen to a few dozen episodes. You'll come to figure out what this culture is all about. We're glad you're here with us, and we'll have another great episode for you very soon.